obviously well known as the DEA. Administrator Milgram, welcome to Meet the Press.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get into some specifics and what's been done over the last week when it comes to some specific charges that you and the Justice Department were able to file, let's talk big picture here. We've had a drug problem in this country for 50 years. What makes fentanyl so much worse right now than any of these other crises that we've had over our 50-year war on drugs?
So thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to talk about what I think is the most critical issue in the United States today, which is the fentanyl crisis, where the CDC has just reported that last year over 110,000 Americans have died from fentanyl and methamphetamine poisoning. About 200 Americans are dying every day from fentanyl. What I say all the time right now is that this is not a war on drugs. This is a fight to save lives. We are losing Americans in every single community from coast to coast and every single place in between. Fentanyl is now, and one of the things that's really different about this, a few things. First, it is the deadliest drug we've ever seen widespread. It is 50 times more powerful than heroin. And so if someone does...
The legalized version of this drug that was FDA approved is 50 more times deadly.
Well, what we're talking about now is the illicit or...
Right. I understand that, but this was originally a legal drug.
Yes, and just to make sure, to be clear on this, it is tightly controlled as a lawful drug given in hospitals, often for cancer patients and end of life as patches or put in under someone's tongue. What we're talking about is totally different. What we're talking about started in Mexico in 2014, 2015, where the criminal cartels, and in particular the Sinaloa cartel, realized that they could take chemicals and make drugs. And so one of the ways that this is so different than any other threat we've ever seen is that these are man-made or chemical drugs. Unlike heroin or cocaine that are grown,
you still need a crop, right? And you could find the crop, maybe even eradicate a crop.
Yes. Yeah. This is totally different. This is chemicals. And what's terrifying about this in so many ways is that the only limit of the amount of fentanyl that could be made is the amount of precursor chemicals that can be purchased. Right. And so these are the chemicals that can be used to make fentanyl. The other reason why I think this is so different, and it is really worth staying on this just for a minute, is that fentanyl, tiny quantities, are so highly addictive and potentially deadly that what we see the cartels doing is they're hiding that fentanyl powder in other drugs, like cocaine, like heroin, like methamphetamine, and they're pressing into these fake pills made to look exactly like oxycodone or percocet or adderall when it's just fentanyl and filler. So tens of thousands of Americans are dying without having any idea that they're taking fentanyl.
So it seems as if this almost feels as if it's an impossible task. The metaphor is you've got a hole in the boat, you're shoveling out water. You guys you're seizing more fentanyl than ever before, and that's continued to grow.